Hello everybody, this is Final Flame Productions, back here with another Terminator Dark Fate video. The subject of today is a Variety article that was an interview with director Tim Miller, and he had some interesting and some concerning things to say about the upcoming Terminator Dark Fate. This article has gotten quite a lot of headlines, quite a backlash from male and female Terminator fans and just movie fans in general, because it does sound quite a lot like the Ghostbusters 2016, the Paul Feig and Melissa McCarthy, how they were responding. Fans of the Ghostbusters franchise essentially were labeling fans, majority of fans, sexist, misogynist, and Tim Miller seems to be going the same route. We have to turn back when the trailer first came out for Terminator Dark Fate. There was, as always, some terrible and sexist things said by people online, but that happens always online, no matter if you put up a picture, a news article, a picture of a celebrity, a sporting headline. People online, there's searching through the internet, finding articles, loads of people with random accounts commenting. You're going to get idiots saying idiotic things. What Paul Feig and Tim Miller seem to be doing, I'll read out the quote if you haven't read it. It's a Variety interview with Tim Miller. He essentially chats about Mackenzie Davis's character in this movie. He says, if you're a closet misogynist, she'll scare the F out of you because she's a tough and strong and very feminine. You can see by their online responses to some of the early SHIT, I think, that's out there, trolls on the internet. I don't give a F. He prefaced all this by saying, like James Cameron, I always find stories about women are more interesting than men picking up guns. Again, there's nothing really wrong with that, except it does. Why does he have to bring this stuff up? Like, why did Paul Feig did the same? Paul Feig said he wasn't interested in having men or male Ghostbusters. Let me preface all what I'm about to say by saying that one of my favorite movies this year was Anna, the Luc Besson, I think he directed, action movie, which is female-led. Two of my favorite films last year were Peppermint and Tomb Raider, which were female-led, so I love female-led movies. My problem is that when people make these movies, that's the only thing they're interested in. And Tim Miller says that he's not interested in male characters being in his movies. He's more interested in females, which, okay, I guess it's a preference. He's free to have that. That's fine. But it does step in, and the questions around the John Connor thing, if he's actually going to be dead. It does sound pretty much that if he isn't interested in male characters, then obviously John Connor ain't going to be in this movie. And the only reason Arnold's in this movie is because James Cameron wanted him in, and he's friends with Arnold. So had Tim Miller made this movie, I presume that there'd have been no Arnold. We're under this, if spoiler alert, we're under the perception, and it's pretty well backed up at this point, that John Connor is going to die in the first 10 minutes. So Tim Miller seems to be bringing the gender political thing into this, calling fans sexist, misogynist, and really creating a problem that isn't really there, because if you look at the online conversation, it's all about John Connor and where his role in the movie. All the criticisms are based around the plot and not around the character's gender. So I think Tim Miller he's stretching here. He's trying to stir up some controversy where there really isn't any. And if he's following the Ghostbusters 2016 route, which didn't end up well for them, and it doesn't really spell anything good for the movie that he isn't talking about the movie. He's talking about all this outside political crap. So I don't know what to make of it. It doesn't sound good to me. He has another quote there. I want to give the audience a story about Sarah and these new characters and make everything as realistic as possible. So again, there's no word of Arnold, no word of John Connor. and he's talking about realistic as possible. Whereas the biggest complaint about the first trailer is that there was lots of CGI and barely any practical effects. But that could be solved in the movie if there's more of that used. But I have a feeling it could be a little bit of like the Jurassic World syndrome, where practical effects are used barely at all. So what do you think of the Tim Miller words? Do you agree with them? Do you think it's smoke and mirrors? Do you think he's trying to create some interest in the movie by being controversial and saying things like this, or do you think he has a point? Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments.